Good morning, YouTube. This is the Animal Liberation Temple, Dobutsu Kyoji, Sunday services for our dear animal friends. One moment while I set up the live streams on Instagram and Facebook. Good morning, Tony Salazar. So good to see you. Okay, it seems like we are live. If folks are having any trouble with volume or not connecting on any of the platforms, let me know. Oh, good morning, Neil. Oh, perfect. I'm glad the Instagram is working as well. Good morning, Yolanda. Lucy's out there. She's up the hill. Yeah, yeah, you're good. We got a volunteer this morning helping out, so it's really wonderful. So I can kind of concentrate on our live stream. Oh, good morning, Martin, and good morning, Jackie. So it looks like everything is live. Let's start with the updates. I'll start with the troubling news is Ray and Oscar, my rooster friends, passed away. We held services for them last night. Um, they were foster farm rescues, and I knew they were getting old, and any little sickness would definitely may make it difficult for them to survive. But they were wonderful, wonderful rooster friends of mine. I will miss them and love them dearly. But I do hope that they, incarnate into whatever the best place is, wherever the place is most beneficial for all sentient beings. I went through the ordination process for them so that they're ordained as holy monks in the Animal Liberation Temple. Um, Thankfully, we did get a very generous donation from a good friend of mine, Isaac, who came and visited Friday, Thursday. Helped out with some deep cleaning chores and then made a donation so that we were able to, one, buy our toilet, and two, we're starting on building our turkey shade slash rain cover so that they can be protected from them. That's still in process. I'll show you folks later on what that looks like. Um, but we're still looking for donations. I heard a statistic, which is very true for us, is that about 80 to 85% of a nonprofit's funding comes from the month of December, um, which in the past has been pretty true. So um, we need a long way to go to be able to get 80% of our funding. Um, so please share our donation pages and our live streams and social media accounts to get that into the right place so that we can be able to have a great year. Remember, we are a 501c3, so all your taxes, all your deductions, all your donations are tax deductible. I do, saying that, I just realized that, majority of my folks that tune in live here are not in the United States, so I don't think that applies, unfortunately. Um, However, sharing does get that to the right people, so it'd be very, very beneficial. Uh, we do have, I see Breve, Grave, Amanda, and Renee getting out of the duck pond. I think they know it's breakfast time. Um, I think that's Amanda who's making all the noise. They're all doing really good. Jingda the dog is inside sleeping, which is really good. Lucy, Jingda's probably getting a bath today too. That's an update for Jingda. He gets a bath about once a week, maybe more, because of he falls down a lot, and so that makes him get dirty pretty quickly. Lucy the dog is just went out to go, bathroom, and is back already to kind of hang out with us. I saw the goats yesterday, Rob, Matt, and Philip, all doing really well. Rob is so big. So good to see them doing well. The three tortoises are sleeping right now. They'll wake up though, because it will get warm enough for them to wake up. They're eating a lot less, which is just what they do in the colder temperatures. They're all doing really well though. Our turkeys, Priya and Harriet, I see them right here, kind of waiting for their breakfast and hanging out where the turkey shade will go eventually. Hopefully I get some volunteers to help me finish that up. If not, I'll struggle with it myself. But that should turn out really good for them, and hopefully get it in here before the rain season. We do have our roosters that were rescued from foster farms. The two surviving brothers, Jax and Jimmy, are both doing well. Jax is over there and Jimmy's over here. They all have their own areas because they're still feisty. They seem to be doing well, keeping a close eye on them though as their age is getting up there. Our guinea fowl, Kyle and Wendy, are doing really well. Then we have our roosters in the main area, which are Sabrina May, Brad, Hard One, Mr. Black, Elton, and Magnus, all doing really well. Then we have our hens over there, Glennis, Gwen, Alice, Melissa, Melinda, Sunny, Dora, and Daniela, all doing well. They're all kind of right here too in front of me. That's Melissa, Melinda right there, and Dora and Sunny. They all are just kind of hanging out waiting for breakfast to come their way. The rats, Yamabushi and Hasu, are doing really well, with their dove friend Sequoia is doing well. I mentioned last week the Cornwall Corner was opened up to be the whole Cornwall side. And that's with Poppy, Aster, Ivy, Azalea, Peony, Cynthia, Lotus, Edward, Magnolia, Hazel, Sage, Marigold, Camilla, Hydrangea, Holly, and Zinnia. They're all doing super good. Got to coach them into their new, they have 4 different places to sleep, and they still all want to go into the same small igloo. So I got to try to get them to spread out a little bit and sleep in other areas. So that igloo is just overcrowded, and they half of them are sleeping outside of it. So some work to be done there. Our pigeon friends, FP, Champagne, Appletini, Tulin, Sasha, Yo-Yo, Petey, Ricky, Spencer, Shambles, Beluga, Beth, Pee-wee, Cascade, Augustus, Frankie, Rufus, Harper, Elliot, Snickers, Boba, Kismet, Farah, Angus, Pandora, Jones, Vincent, Harriet, Lago, Fred, Tramonto, Halo, Vin, Capone, Thimble, Percy, Pacino, Lacey, and Sasha, all doing really well. And Pandora had that limp in her walk, wasn't playing around, not feeling too well for a while, but she's out of her, quarantine area and out with all the other pigeons again, doing super good, flying around. She's not limping anymore, so super happy to see her doing that. Oh, did we lose our Instagram? Oh, our video on our YouTube's or on Facebook is not doing well. Yeah, Facebook. Okay, well, some people are saying that they are getting audio but no video. Picture is frozen. Okay, one moment while I try to address that. I might just have too many devices streaming the internet right now using my Wi-Fi. Okay, I show it moving. Oh, no, I'm frozen again. Never mind. I see what you folks mean. And I'm frozen in kind of a funny face there. I wonder what's going on. Instagram is still up. Now, Instagram is frozen too. So, Facebook's frozen, Instagram's frozen. Let's see if YouTube's frozen. YouTube. Yep. YouTube's frozen too. Okay. So, is it a problem on my end? Let me look at my OBS. Okay, we're frozen on OBS for some reason. Give me a moment. So people are probably all seeing a close-up of me. That's fine. It just had to reset the cam link. Okay. Give that a second, and we should be back up. Nice pose, though. Thanks, Neil. Okay. It should be unfreezing soon. There we go. I think I see something happening. Looks like we lost a lot of people. That's no good. Yeah, it's working now. That was a problem on my end. I don't know why it did that, but we'll move on. Let's start with the well, some of them are working. Well, hopefully everything will update here soon. If people are hearing me, the video will come back. We'll start with this morning's prayers and sutras, as always dedicated to our dear animal friends, of great benefit for our companion animals and live animal friends to be able to hear these prayers. We'll start with the Great Heart of Wisdom Sutra, recited in Japanese, found on page 4 and 5 of the Animal Liberation Temple Prayer Book. Maka hanya haramita shingyo kanji zai bosatsu gyojin hanya haramita jiso kengo onkai kudo isai kuyaku shari shishiki fuku kuafui shiki shiki zoku ze kuku zoku ze shiki ju so gyo shiki yaku bunyo ze shari shi ze sho ho ku so fu sho fu metsu fu ku fu jo fu zo fu gen ze koku chu mu shiki mu jo so gyo shiki mu gen ni bi shin ni mu shiki sho komi soku ho mu gen kai nai shi mu ro shiki sho komi soku ho mu gen kai nai shi mu i shiki kai mu mu myo yaku mu mu myo jin nai shi mu ro shi yaku mu ro shi jin mu ku shu metsu do mu chi yaku mu tokui mu sho tokko bodai sattai hanya haramita koshin mukege komuku funri zai tendo muso kugyo nehan sanze shubutsu e hanya haramita kotoku wa nokutara sanmyaku sanbodai kochi hanya haramita zedai shinshu zedai myoshu ze mujo shu ze mutodo shu no jo isai kushin jitsu fuko zetsu hanya haramita shuzoku zetsu shuwatsu gyate gyate hara gyate hara so gyate boji sowaka hanya shingyo neguwaku wa kono kudoko mote amaneku isai ni yoyoboshi warira toshija tomina tomono butsudo Rei-o, Oscar-o, Animal Liberation o, Jozen Koto-o, Chiho Sanshi, 佛系son wosa, 佛系son wosa, moko sa moko hoja horo mi. We'll now cite the refuge prayer in Tibetan and English found on page 8 of the Animal Liberation Temple Prayer Book. Sangye chodan taki chanam la janju paduk tekni gyapsu chi taki jinzo gepe sanam ki drola penjer sangye jupar sho. The Buddha, Dharma, and excellent assembly of the Sangha. Until I attain enlightenment, in these I take refuge. By my practice of the 6 perfections, may all sentient beings attain the state of Buddhahood. We now recite the 4 great Bodhisattva vows, Shigi Seigan, page 9 of the Animal Liberation Temple Prayer Book. Shujo Muhen Segando, Bono Mujin Segandan, Homon Murya Seganga, Botudo Mujo Seganjo. However numerous sentient beings, I vow to enlighten them all. However inexhaustible my delusions, I vow to extinguish them all. However immeasurable dharmas, I vow to master them all. However endlessly enlightened way, I vow to follow it fully. We now recite the 6 vows to our dear animal friends, page 10 of the Animal Liberation Temple Prayer Book. However numerous our dear animal friends, I vow to liberate them all. However diverse the methods of animal liberation, I vow to support them all. However unheard their voices, I vow to speak out for them all. However painful and inexhaustible the methods of suffering, I vow to bear witness to them all. However infinite the cages and tanks, I vow to empty them all. However difficult animal liberation, I vow to achieve it completely. And we now recite the Vajrasattva purification mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Nupalaya Vajrasattva Te Nopatisa Te Dome Bava Sito Sho Me Bava Supo Sho Me Bava Anorato Me Bava Sava Sita Me Prayata Sava Karma Sita Me Chitam Shri Yam Guru Hom Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sava Tata Gata Vajrama Me Mucha Vajri Bava Mahasamamya Savaha. So today we're going to be talking about the Sunday's practice of the daily practices, which is the last day. So then we'll probably get into some different teachings and probably some that folks were wanting to talk about. I think one of the interesting ones I thought of was the idea of the practice of, or I'm sorry, not the practice of, but the idea of the angels and bodhisattvas. I think there's a whole lot of things to say there. Why am I missing the Sunday practice? Wednesday friends. I need a table of contents. It starts on Monday. And then Friday's practice, Saturday's practice, and then it goes into the death prayers for our dear animal friends. Do I need to write another book to include the Sunday daily practices? Oh, I might have to, because unless it starts on Sunday. Let me see here if it has the individual practices on Sunday. Oh no. Sunday services, it doesn't have the Sunday daily practice. Interesting. So I will pull those up here. Maybe I'll write another book, and I will send out a supplemental for that. And interestingly enough, I don't have the complete practice here, but I do have it dedicated to our dear enslaved animal friends. If somebody's seeing it that I'm not seeing it, maybe let me know. Good morning, Christina Sakyan. So good to see you live here. But I'll say this. So if we're doing the daily practices like everybody, if you like to do that and it brings meaning to your life, I specifically like them a lot. Sometimes I don't do the Sunday because I have services. But if you are doing them and like them, reach out to me and we'll work on getting the Sunday daily service a little bit, or practice a little bit better. But it is dedicated to our enslaved animal friends. So it starts with today, let us send all of our merit, past, present, and future, to all our dear enslaved animal friends who are worked and enslaved in entertainment industries such as zoos, circuses, aquariums, atriums, theme parks, rodeos, and who are used to enslave to carry heavy burdens, pulling plows and carriages, ridden and used for their senses. May all suffering and the cause of suffering to our dear animal friends be forever ceased. May the obstacles on our path to liberation to our dear enslaved animal friends be removed. So this basically is just talking about, again, our enslaved animal friends. We see in zoos, circuses, maybe pulling carts or pulling horse carriages. I know there's a lot of places trying to ban those right now. I think that's wonderful work. Zoos are, getting shut down left and right, which is great. We've ended the Barnum and Bailey, I believe. The circus no longer around, which is great. We have circuses such as Cirque du Soleil, who will never use non-human animals in their circuses, so that's really good to see. But we're still trying to get, atriums set down, aquariums set down, theme parks that use animals, rodeos, things like that. The idea of using non-human animals to carry things for us or to ride them is really outdated in 2024. We have cars and motorcycles and ATVs and the like. So horses are unnecessary. I had a talk with one of my friends who has a lot of, unfortunately, using their horses to corral their cattle, which, double bad. I understand that, but we had this conversation about, possibly replacing the horses with ATVs, and they're talking about how they think it'd be more efficient, less hurt to their horses. You could control exactly where you want your ATV to go. They're kind of loud, so they kind of do the purpose of hurting a lot better. So that's a start. Maybe getting somebody to realize that riding horses even for work is not necessary, and that there's other ways around that. I'd also like them to not own cattle. So let's work on that too. So it continues. Just checking the live stream. Sorry, folks. It continues with may our dear enslaved animal friends be filled with love and compassion. Deer, dolphins, whales, horses, bulls, elephants, bears, lambs, pigs, sea otters, fish, elks, deer, rhinos, hippos, alligators, snakes, polar bears, lions, tigers, gorillas, chimpanzees, and all of you are incarcerated and or forced to work under heavy loads when you want your freedom so much, who remember your parents being killed so that you could be captured, who are forced often with whips, chains, and electric prods to perform unnatural tricks, who are treated without respect, the dignity of your true nature. We bear witness to your suffering. We take both spiritual and physical action to bring permanent end, and we continually accumulate and dedicate our merit, love, and compassion to comfort and transform the hearts of those who support this violent oppression. May all your suffering end immediately right now through me. May you quickly experience happiness, safety, freedom, and animal liberation. May you be born in whatever life is most beneficial for all sentient beings. Yeah, everybody's very talkative this morning. So another one I want to bring up is like our deer pigeon friends who are often used for sport. To make them do unnatural tricks where they're graded on what kind of like aerial tricks that they can do, or um, homing pigeons who are used for racing, things like this are all kind of addressing the same issue in the Sunday daily practice of our enslaved animal friends who are used for their body and senses. I think this would also include things like hawking. I don't know if that's the correct term for it, but the idea of like using hawks to hunt with, or using hawks to, spot other prey animals, and yeah, pretty horrible. Um, I know people think it's cool to have a hawk do your bidding, but I think we need to look at that relationship a little bit better and realize that ultimately it's enslavement if they're doing work for you. Um, and especially with hawks or wild animals, I feel differently about domesticated animals such as dogs and cats and domesticated chickens and turkeys. These are can be companion animals, with the caveat understanding that like ideally we wouldn't even have companion animals. I don't think it's necessary for humans to survive, or humans to have any even companion animals anymore. Um, but as long as they are here and they continue to be bred here, we should be fighting against their breeding, and we should be taking care of the ones who need homes and who need care. Um, and especially our domesticated animal friends who are, being potentially used for their flesh. If they can be rescued and taken care of, that would be great. I think this includes things like the pet trade. You know, we would love to end the pet trade completely, but while they're here, if we have the ability to rescue them and care for them, we should, as they can't survive in the wild. But when it comes to wild animals, there's absolutely no excuse. Um, if they're injured or sick, they should, be in a wildlife care, in a wildlife refuge type of situation, where they can live as natural of a life as possible, maybe under human care, but especially if they're injured. But if you have a hawk that's hunting for you, this is definitely a situation of enslavement. If they can hunt for themselves, um, that they shouldn't be your companion. So that's my uh, lecture on enslaving animals, and obviously wrong, and I have differing opinions, wild animals versus domestic animals, with the caveat that maybe all animals should be wild, um, and that we should seek to end domestication of our non-human animal friends. Um, I think that that doesn't mean that we live in a in the future we don't live in a world with no non-human animals. In fact, in the future, what I think that folks who do care deeply for non-human animals would fill more the role of caring for those who can't care for themselves, the sick and injured wild animals, um, and continuing to protect our environment so that our non-human and wild animal friends can continue having um, a shared world with us. So it's not that um, that as humans we'll ever divorce ourselves completely of non-human animal interaction. In fact, I visualize a world where we live in equanimity and that we care for each other, um, care for our non-human animal friends as well as our human animal friends, um, in a place that we see no difference you know, between all sentient beings, and that we don't have relationships based on enslavement or relationships based on um, the ego or self. And you know, I talk about that when I'm talking about like maybe designer breeds of animals, where um, we buy animals just because of their breed, rather than adopting because they need us. But like I said, some reason I don't have the Sunday daily practices in the book. I just am now realizing that. Um, and maybe had a reason for that when I started this, and maybe it was to encourage people to continue tuning in to our Sunday services. Um, but regardless, I think that maybe I'll add an addition to the book so people can do that, and send it out to people who have already purchased the book. And maybe I'll write a version 2 coming soon. I have a lot of ideas of what I want to include in it. If folks know of things that they might want to have included in it, I'd love to hear your ideas. Um, at the end of the book, I put in, some nice pictures, as well as some of the other um, things that I had been working on. I have the story of Myogen, a turkey that I met in a factory farm, and the story of Libby, a pig I met in a factory farm. Um, I talk about being soft spoken. I talk about the letter to Penelope, which was a cow friend I met at the first vigil I attended. So there might be other stories I can put into this book, and maybe a version 2 will be coming this next year. I think that'd be a really wonderful project to work on, along with all the projects that need to be done here, and hopefully our funding comes through. The book doesn't make us a lot of money. It's mostly for folks out there to just be able to engage at the temple. Um, so I do appreciate everybody who does buy the book. It helps cover the cost of making it. Um, and I think there's a small profit margin that helps the sanctuary out a little bit. Yeah, thank you, Yolanda. I thought those, I tried to choose some of the best pictures that I could. All right. So we will conclude with the jumping around my book this morning. The dedication of merit to our dear animal friends, and the animal liberation prayer, and then the dedication of merit. And then we'll go on a quick tour, probably the main aviary side, so I can show folks the new turkey shelter we're building. I can show you the start of it, and then maybe next week I'll have it done and I can show everybody the finished product. I think that'd be pretty cool, if I can get it done. We'll see how much help I get. We'll start with the Animal Liberation Prayer, page 12, 13, and 14 of the Animal Liberation Temple Prayer Book. May all sentient beings, especially our dear animal friends who are subject to unbearable pain in labs throughout the world, be free of all suffering. May alternatives to animal experimentation, vivisection, and dissection be implemented immediately. May Bodhicitta, the quality of compassion that leads to enlightenment, fill the hearts of those who imprison them. May all sentient beings, especially our dear animal friends who suffer endless days, months, and years, locked in tiny cages unable to move, be filled with peace and calm. May all sentient beings, especially our dear animal friends who are forcibly taken from their families, be reunited, and may all families be able to stay together. May the hearts of those who work in slaughterhouses, factory farms, and all industries to exploit our dear animal friends be filled with bodhicitta, so the very thought of harm is purified. May they never kill again, and may the slaughterhouse lines, factory farms, and all industries that exploit our dear animal friends become immediately empty. May no animal be afraid or depressed. May their bodies be free of injuries, disease, and illness. May the mutilation of their bodies be forever ceased. May those who need homes or have been driven from them find shelter, plentiful food, and water. May there be liberation for those tortured for fur, entertainment, or who are hunted. May those who believe that they are superior to our brother and sister animals develop perfect equanimity, and may they realize in their hearts that all sentient beings possess Buddha nature, the potential to be completely free of suffering, and that they are not ours to kill or exploit. May the billions of land and sea-dwelling sentient beings who are abused, exploited, and killed due to greed, hatred, and ignorance be free of suffering. May all the nets, hooks, blades, projectiles, traps, snares, cages, pens, tanks, lethal restraints, saddles, reins, prods, bait, poison, and all instruments used to harm, exploit, and dominate our dear animal friends be forever abolished. May all human and non-human sentient beings live together in harmony, peace, equanimity, and achieve perfect enlightenment quickly. May we all experience happiness, safety, freedom, and animal liberation in this very lifetime. And we now recite the Dedication of Merit, page 16 and 17 of the Animal Liberation Temple Prayer Book. Throughout our many lives and until this moment, whatever virtue we have accomplished, including this aspiration for peace, and all that we will ever attain, this we offer for the benefit of all sentient beings, especially our dear animal friends. May suffering, exploitation, and unnecessary death be decreased for every being, while wisdom, bliss, and compassion increase in this and every future life. May we clearly and instantly perceive the plight of our dear animal friends with the urgency and seriousness they deserve, and our every action leads to complete liberation. May we quickly attain enlightenment and work ceaselessly for the liberation of all sentient beings. All right, one moment while I set up the camera to take a quick walk, and I have an idea on how to be able to see comments while I'm walking around. We'll see how this works. Sorry, folks. Let's go see our tree I planted for Ray and Oscar. Let's plant here a little Jesus statue for him. Sorry, the camera's all super shaky, everyone. I'll do better. Oh, and I did not switch the microphone. Sorry. Look at Lucy wants to go out. Okay, so this is, let's kind of white out. This is the structure I'm starting to build. And it looks like Jingda needs my help. So we're gonna take a look at some more rooster friends. Oh, I think you got it. There's Sabrina May. And we got everybody kind of taking a dirt bath under here, which is super good. That's Melinda. Totally can't see if everybody can see that. And that is Elton. And here's the turkeys finishing their breakfast. Priya and Harriet. It looks empty out here because one, the chickens are all dirt bathing, and the ducks are in there finishing their breakfast. Oh, but let's go visit with Jax over here. Hey Jax, how you doing? There's Brad. Brad decided to jump up. He wants to say hi to everybody. Hi, Brad. Gonna give us a crow? Thinking about it? Nope. There it is. Thank you, Brad. And Magnus over here. Yeah, I think Jingda, he probably corrected himself. Sometimes when he falls over, he can get back up. He just wants me to help him. There's Hard One. And Jax again. Oh, look. It's like Dora might be laying an egg. Let's go say hi to Dora. Do you want to say hi to people, Dora? I don't know if people can see that. They're a little dark. Hi, Dora. Yeah? Sabrina May again. There's Sunny, also doing a dirt bath. You want to say hi, Sunny? No, a little shy this morning? That's okay. We're gonna go back. Tortoises are all still sleeping. Well, thank you everybody for joining us here at Dobutsu Kyoji, the Animal Liberation Temple, where we are at the service of the spiritual and physical liberation of our dear animal friends. Please share this live stream, share our Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube pages to get some more people engaged. Subscribe, it does help the algorithm. I learned that you could leave a review, I think, on our Facebook page. That would help a lot. You have the ability to donate, please do, but really sharing is what's going to get it into the people who do have the ability to donate. There's plenty of folks out there that maybe need that tax write-off, so getting it in front of those people could really help our temple out, kind of have a great next year for everybody, possibly new residents, and expansions and things like that to continue our work here for our dear animal friends. Everybody have a wonderful week. If you have any questions or have any suggestions on what our next topics should be, I'd love to hear that from folks. Everybody have a wonderful day, and thank you so much.